first things first, my name's Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. Every once in a while, we do something different. We are still going to be showing off our new technology. This is our color black projection screen over there. But trying to get this stuff here I need on the table. Stuff is all over the place. And let me get this stuff to the orders. Put these down here. Someone's address gets exposed. Come on, man, chill. All right. So I'm always trying to figure out ways to challenge myself, especially when it comes to building PCs or projection screens and stuff like that. So I decided to go in a different direction. Case would have been too easy. I've done it already over here. We've done multiple cases. I haven't done a custom built case. I want to do something completely different. And yes, it's going to have hinges and doors are going to open up and get inside and access. I want something different. Like, I'm not going to get it from this PC. I'm just not going to get it from what I want and what I want to build. I want this thing to look really like a pipe refrigeration unit. I want it to look really cool. And I want to be able to add extra stuff to it, which I can't do if I buy a case. So I decided to go in and basically I've been looking at this rack for a long time. Over at this hardware store, and I've done racks before. I've done open rack PCs and stuff like that. But this one I want to build. My freezer box system I want to build a little different. I want an exposed PC. I want an open, exposed, all the parts, everything you can see, stuff like that. So my motherboard over here is actually a micro. I think it's a micro ITX board. It is really, really tiny. So I can fit that thing just about anywhere. But I do want it out in the open. I do want it exposed. I want to see my liquid cooling system actually attaching to it. So I'm going to have to... I know exactly where to put the liquid cooling system. And I definitely want to do a modification for the liquid cooling system. I definitely want to do a double fan system, which means it's going to involve long screws to do that. So that's not hard to do at all, period. I can actually add those in later. I can put that upgrade in later. The upgrades can put in later. So I had to go order some parts. Parts are pretty much light parts. I had to get motherboard screws in post, which are these guys right here. And I had to get the power switch, reset switch, and hard drive indicators. You can buy those switches over at Amazon or any kind of PC mod shop. It used to be that you had to go in and you had to pretty much build those parts, but now you can just go in and just basically just buy them already assembled, which is fantastic. So this is the size of my motherboard. It is quite tiny. Hard drive. My motherboard is small. Like I said, that's the size of my motherboard. It is so freaking tiny. So I decided that I want to challenge, and I'm going to basically build my own case. I've built cases before. That's why I sat there saying, like, why are you building a case? You know, you build these things, right? So I'm going to actually build my own case. And it's not hard to do. It really isn't hard to do. I've done dozens. I've done actually one out of Tupperware. I built a case out of Tupperware. That was freezer board. It had multiple fans, a liquid cooling system on it. And that one had liquid cooling system. It had the huge copper block fan system on it. Yeah, it was modded out. So this one, I'm going to go in and I'm going to mod my... This one I didn't mod the liquid cooling system. The other ones I am going to mod on this one. And then I'll get exactly what I want. I get exactly what I want. Because again, I want to put another liquid cooling system in. I got this one already. Oh, I found the box. It is bigger than the other one. I'm like, wait a minute, why is this bigger? They're both 240s. They're both 240s. This one has a huge freaking box in it. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. And I got a chance. I'm going to do some modifications on the case, on the rack when it gets here. I'm actually going to pick it up today. No shipping costs, nothing. Other one, basically, I traded it out for other parts that I'm going to need to basically do this one. I did go to Amazon. I picked up the post screws because you're going to need post screws because you got to mount these in correctly. Board can't be swiveling and shaking and all that stuff. So you got to get your post screws right here. And we're going to have to build a nice little contraction in there, a pipe system in there separate from the other pipe, from the other rack system. So we can actually fit the motherboard on like we did with the other case back in the day. And liquid cooling system's going to be easy to install. We got plenty of room for power supplies, all kinds of power supplies. I'm going to put 2 power supplies in this one. So it's going to be pretty cool how we're going to set this one up. And my motherboard's going to be out in the front. I want it exposed. I want to be to see everything. On top of that, I can do an icicle effect off the motherboard. Like, it's actually frozen. The board is actually frozen. So definitely doing some cool mods on the motherboard. That's going to be freaking sick. Now, we're not going to actually, when you want to actually touch the board, when you're giving it kind of an ice look to it, you want to basically build a kind of frame pipe system around it, and you want to basically ice the pipes. That's what you want to do. So, looking at all this stuff, it saves me a lot of money. And especially when you can build your own cases, you come out much cheaper. On top of that, you can build it the way you want to build it. And that's what's important. Power supply. That's what's important. You can build it the way you want to build it. Usually you'll get to that point. Most people, when you're building PCs, you eventually will evolve to the point where you basically don't buy cases anymore. You like build your own cases. And that's what'll happen from there. So building your own cases. Like, nope, I just can't find anything I want. I'll build it myself. Because then you want to add in a lot of extra stuff. Like, you want to add in multiple graphic cards. Like right now, the i7. The i7 is going to require, there's no case is going to fit what I got to put in that thing. I mean, even though it is overkill, and I'm still going to do it anyway, because that's what I'm going to do. I can't find a case. It's going to house 3 power supplies, 2 liquid coolings at 420s at that. There's no case big enough to even house that thing. I'm literally going to have to build a rack system for it. To build something different for it. I'm going to do a PVC case. That's what people do when they get to a point where they can't find stuff that they don't want. They basically can buy. They'll go out and build their own case for it. So my parts down here. I've now started to accumulate parts. That's the first stage. Start accumulating parts. So that's for Freezer Boy down there. He's about to get it about to be converted. And as I said before, my motherboard. Woo, I did get a micro ITX board. I did buy one. I didn't think I bought one. I did buy one. This is the size of my board. It is super crazy small. Oops, come on, let's be nice here. Oh, why would you go there? Of all places, don't go there. Go here. Fill up a static charge and short my board out, man. That's the size of my board. That's how tiny this thing is. This board is micro small. Look at that. There it is, the M2s right there. They put a sticker right directly on there. Okay, really seriously? It's got 2 DIMM slots. It's got plenty of SATA ports on it. Right there. Again, right by the freaking... Oh, why did they put that there? Those are the pins. Are those the pins? Yes, they're the pins. They're the pins basically for switching this thing on and off. Why do they stick them so close to the RAM? Why? They're supposed to be out here. That's where they're supposed to be at. Well, this would be a complete headache if I did install this into a case. Where is the, where's the USB? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Wait. Hold on for a minute. We're doing our own case, right? So basically, we had to get that part. We have to order that part for the USB. All right, because, yeah, we're building our own case. It's not going to come with the case. We have to put our own case for that one. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Keep forgetting motherboard comes with these things automatically, USBs. There's an HDMI right there, which we're not going to use because we're going to put a video card in there. That's your slot for your video card right there. That's pretty much it. It's pretty easy to put together. Power supply right there, and then the other part right there for your 6V right there. That's pretty much it. That's all. Pretty much it. And there's your peripherals for basically your audio, headsets, all that stuff. Right over there, speakers. That's it. It's pretty easy to put together. It's not that hard to do. You know, people look at the board and they go, oh my God, it's not intimidating. It's really very simple. It's very simple. Liquid cooling system, see port. Drop your liquid cooling system in there. Bam! Turn this thing into an ice box. Yep. Yeah, very easy to do. Very easy to do. It's like somewhat similar to the same board you get on your PlayStation, but this is much more powerful. Because you can do a whole lot more with this thing at the end of the day. It can be upgraded, all kinds of cool stuff. You can pull out stuff and put it together and put it together and pull out stuff. Where the heck is the stand? All my stuff is supposed to be here. Everything is scattered all over the place because I started digging through parts. And I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, like, pay money for this freaking freezer box at the end of the day. And it's not going to be what I want. I'm not going to be happy with it at all, period. Which I'm not. And I'm going to change it out. And that's what's going to happen. That's literally what's going to happen. I know myself at the end of the day that I'm not going to be happy with it. I want to be able to put more food in displays. I want this thing to look like a real freezer, so I'm going to put more food in there. So that rack system gives me a whole bay area. I can put my liquid cooling system on the top, put my motherboard on the side, because this thing is so small, I can put it anywhere I want. And on top of that, I can build me a whole entire rack freezer unit in there easily and put more frozen foods in there, which I want to do. I want this thing to look really super realistic. And on top of that, I got a nice clear PVC pipe system. I'm going to run all around it. It's going to give it a kind of like a more freezer kind of effect with gauges on it and valves on it. You know what I mean? You can see where liquid fluid is coming from here to there. It's going to be freaking cool. I can't wait to hook it up. Yeah. And on top of that, this thing's going to run 2 liquid cooling systems and 2 power supplies. So that's the reason why the case wouldn't have worked either way. Finding out that the case where I was going to order was much bigger, it would require a second liquid cooling system, which I could add on to it. But now, when I think about it, since we do the rack unit, I still got to put in a separate power supply. Because I do want to run the liquid cooling system off its own dedicated power supply. I do. You want to make sure that gets plenty of juice, especially for the stuff I plan to run in there. And this is more like my work PC and gaming PC, so I do plan to do some upgrades on it. I am going to be swapping out pretty soon the 1050s for the 1650s pretty soon and get them done. And I had to order the motherboard screws. I said I had to order the kill switches, and what else we had to order? Let me see. Can't remember everything else we had to order. We had the K screws. We had to order the kill switches. There was something else I had to order too. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it'll come to me later. It'll definitely come to me later. Oh yeah, I remember that. I gotta order that too. Yep. So, since we'll have the case today, the rack system today, because it's cheap. My rack only cost me like $20. So it's cheap. And for those that say, is it going to be sturdy? Yeah, it's going to be sturdy. You're going to reinforce it with a PVC piping system. And that piping system, you ever seen the Windows 95 where the pipe system just moves all around? We're going to pump it in and out, different sections. It's going to be freaking cool. So I can redirect the pipe anywhere I want it to go. Or, if you want some real fun with it and make it interesting, we could do the entire thing out of freaking toilet paper tubes, which I've done already before. So that's what I saw when I first saw the open racks, torture rack, benches, whatever you want to call them at the end of the day. When I first saw them, I was they were asking so much money for them. I was like, man, I am not paying that money at the end of the day for that freaking rack. Excuse me for a minute. We got customers pushing through. I blocked that because I've got customers pushing through. There we go. So anyway, yeah, I didn't want to pay the money for a rack. I built my own. And they're not hard to build. It's not hard to build at all, period. I just like the fact they're making motherboards so small now today. I remember they use such huge boards. So let me see. Let me go over to... And yeah, I'm going to have a screen in there, a much bigger one too, because it'll accommodate that size. The screen for the custom built in my projector. That's another plus side I have. I can literally put a screen upside down and put a projector going upside down and push an image right up to the ceiling. That's only sick. So I got to bring out the rotaries. Cutting equipment. Modify. Let me see. Yeah. When you start doing enough modifications, you get to the point where you grow outside the case. You don't want to be. You don't want to. You want to be able to do things where you can have more control. The more control you have to, I can't. I can't explain to you. The whole difference in PC is control. To be able to have more control of your parts, everything you do, to have more control. And it just gets to a point where you really don't want to. You don't want to be locked down to a case anymore. So now you start building your own cases. When you get to that point, you are fully evolved to building whatever the freak you want. Now, for some people, because they don't do projection screens and we do, they have to go buy a monitor. We don't have to because we engineer technology that allows us to be able to use projectors, Picos, and turn those into basically screens, which I'm going to be doing to this desk pretty soon. And my projector is going to be connected to the desk on the table, freezer. I think I'm going to get some freezer sculptures, some kind of, I don't know, Iceman or whatever. Let me see what we have here. I saw that rack. I said, oh my goodness, it's perfect. It's tiny. It's small. On top of that, I can build it to the size that I want. Now, it's not going to be that high. I plan to only need maybe about one top to bottom. And yes, it. Probably less than that, to tell you the truth. All right, let me see. Sub-Zero, that's the name of it. That's what I named the PC, Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is made out of a Tupperware container. That is Sub-Zero. I was very made out of a Tupperware container. It's a Deutsche system. Designed to have all the parts exposed. Is it breathable? Yeah, perfectly fine. It can run between 17 to 23% Celsius. Super cool. Modifications, all the fans are modified, all high RPM fans, kill switches, all that, all custom design. See, the one beautiful thing about silicone gives it that kind of frozen look to it. Now there's also another stage of silicone you can do too. On top of that, if you're doing your drops, your ice drops, you can basically start off with the white silicone first, put a nice drop on there, and then basically you paint that in with a clear UV glow. And then you go back over top of it with the clear. So that way when you look through the clear, you see this white icicle on the inside and it glows. That's another way to do it. Power supply, I got access to the whole thing, which means I can take off the top and I got access to everything underneath of it. Power supply, all the equipment, everything. So all that thing comes apart. Yeah. So when I start talking about how I can do just a free stuff, trying to get you an idea of what I'm building, I just go back and show you some of the mods I put together. Can't find those gauges for crap. Like literally, that's one of the things I miss about North Philadelphia. It's the fact that, man, all kinds of parts, anything you need to find, you can find it anywhere. Up here, it's kind of like going through a scavenger hunt. I kind of feel like I'm going through freaking like some kind of survival game where I have to find parts. It's not easy to find parts up here. I finally tracked down about 4 thrift stores down here that maybe I can go in and get some parts. I feel like I'm on a scavenger hunt. Like I had a side quest coming saying, hey, today you have to get this, and this. I'm like, oh crap. I went to 4 different stores to try to find that clear silicone and couldn't find it. Jack. And again, I got to spend $30 to go all the way out to Home Depot to pick up everything I need and come right back. Or if I go to Amazon and get it, they don't really give you a better description of what you're buying. In one place, it's like, well, it comes off white, but it goes clear. Then I can turn into anything. I need to be actual clear. Light has to pass through it. So if you're wondering, the motherboard is sitting in those toilet paper rolls, the ones I showed you, once you have you stick in between and put your toilet paper on, that's what the pipe system is made out of. Cheap, easy to put together. Motherboard comes off the rack, all that's detachable. Here's the kill switches, turn it on, so everything basically goes nicely. That block system they have at the top, I got 2 sets of fans, and both fans will run up their own separate dedicated fan controllers. Touchscreen fan speed controllers. I can switch between which fan I want just by touching it. Gives me temperature of each one. So you can see that right here is showing that I'm at my fan switch. So fast. So my PC is at 28 Celsius. And this, read how I know it, because that unit has sensors on it. So you get 4 sensors that you have, and you stick the sensors where basically you're going to have a kickstart, or you're going to have it at, and it shows exactly how cold it is in that section. So I was able to freeze the CPU down to 28. The liquid cooling system a little different because it's actually liquid cooling. I got it down to 17. I've gotten quite handy at basically modifying cooling systems to get everything down to where I need the temperature to run at. You can overclock the daylights at anything you want if you can get it under the 30 mark. See, optical drive, all that pulls out. So they're asking me questions, and they're like, does a drive pull out? Yeah, drive, all that stuff comes out. Got access to everything. There's the fan controllers, and underneath the go right here. There we go. Underneath the motherboard, there's a motherboard exposed. There's actually 120 millimeter fans on each side. They're operated on fan controllers to make sure air pushes up underneath of the board. And as you can see, there's the piping system here and here. Now the piping system was coated all in silver, so it gives off a better effect when the blue trigger's off. On top of that, it makes it look more realistic when it looks like it's actually frozen. There's my fan system down there. And there we have basically the huge copper block fan system. So we have intake and outtake pushing through. There's the power supply unit. Everything glows nicely. Everything was coated, pre-coated in a glow-in-the-dark fluorescent paint to give it more of a glow to it. There's the modified Xbox 360 on the other side with the skull head on it. Motherboard, and right here we have this is my video card, but the video card also too has another port on top of it that basically keeps it nice and cool, even though it's not needed. But you know, always overkill when it comes to cooling. You should be like that. Anytime it comes to cooling for your motherboard or anything on your PC or console, you should be overkill on cooling. Because that cooling basically means the difference of your system cutting on and off. That's what it means. Is my system powering on? Ask me, did it power on? If the question, yep, it does power on. It means a big difference. That's why I can't explain enough. Look, 2 horror shows you got coming up in November. How fast are these units going to brick? Because they're very powerful machines. They're in really closed areas, really closed cases. How fast are they going to brick? That's one of the problems. You know, the jacked up thing about it, and I see it coming. Yeah, I see the nightmare coming. These people are going to go out. It's different when they had the PS5s. They're all over the place. You know, they were all over the place, but let's put it this way. You could buy one. It wasn't like, you know, you're buying a pre-order. You could buy one. But then when you bought them, how many of them bricked? A lot of them bricked. A lot of them went through the brick process. So imagine spending that kind of money for a system and it bricks. Then what? You know you can't take it back to PlayStation, right? You know you're stuck with it. You bought it from a scalper. So you can't take that back to PlayStation. It's gonna be a little hard to do that one. You know, people don't think about that kind of stuff. They never think about that kind of stuff. That's what happened the last time. How are you going to take a brick system back to PlayStation and you bought it from a scalper? How's that going to work? And the jacked up thing about it is they know about the scalpers. If they didn't, they knew about this. They know about the scalpers. That's why they wanted to put that whole policy in there to make it harder for them to buy, because they know about the scalpers. But they could have made it so you can only have to go online, go on to a store and buy it. But that would have That would have basically cut the whole system for the scalper at the end of the day. Nope, didn't do that, did they? No, because again, I told you, it's business. It's about numbers and money. That's it. Y'all don't see it. Some people see it, some people don't. You're going to spend even $1,000. Keep in mind that the 30th anniversaries are gone. That's how fast they hit them. When the original ones, the PlayStation Pros pop out, they're going to hit every single one of them. They're going to resell them back. Some people are going to spend $1,000 for these units, $1,200 for these units. And you don't even know if your system's going to brick or not. Come on, man. How long have you been console gaming? Everybody knows that the first editions always brick. Everybody knows that. All first editions always have bugs. Always. The Dreamcast had them, N64 had them, Atari 26. All the first editions have bricks. They have problems with them. And then they hammer them out, and then the second, maybe the third, they get better. Everybody knows that. Why in the world would you sit there and spend that kind of money on a system that, number one, is basically the first one that comes out? Oh, I can't wait to see this. It is going to be I'm going to sit back and get some popcorn. I'm going to basically watch this whole fire show go down. It is going to be one of the messiest things I've ever seen. If you thought the PS5 was a freaking headache, wait till you see what's going to pop up. It's got all the perfect combinations to the perfect storm. You got people buying pre-order. You're going to see a different type of nightmare. One half, people getting ripped off on people who don't have pre-orders and they got you. Keep in mind, you got to understand this right from here. If this person doesn't have a business, if he hasn't been doing business on eBay for a long time, and he sets up an account, say PayPal hits him, right? And PayPal takes the money out of his account. PayPal can't take the money out of his account if it's not there. And if they take it out of his account, say it's delinquent maybe $1,200 on his account. You don't care about that. He's a scalper at the end of the day. They have the ability to go in and manipulate a system and buy tons of freaking orders just like that with no problem whatsoever. He probably can make as many of his accounts as he wants. He probably would never even catch him. So with that being said, he couldn't care less if that account went rotten and went down and it was delinquent and he couldn't do anything with it. You can make another one. That's it. So for people saying, well, that's not possible. Well, how in the world do you think they got into the PlayStation store and bought that many systems that quick? They sold out within minutes. You needed an account to go in to buy. Did you know that? That's how they set it up. You need an account to go in. You have to sign into an account to go buy. So how many accounts did they have in order to go in and buy that many systems that fast, that quick? So you go in, you buy this system, you get ripped off. PayPal's going to give you your money back, of course. That's what they're going to do. So at least you're refunded if you did pay through PayPal. If you didn't, okay, you have to go through your bank. And you know how long it is to go through a bank to a chargeback? You're going to wait 90 days. You're going to wait 3 months out of this. 3 months. That's what it takes for a chargeback to go through. It takes a long time. So you got that option right there. If you went through PayPal, PayPal can basically put as it wasn't shipped and whatever, and you would get your money back from PayPal. And PayPal will hit him, which he doesn't care at the end of the day because he don't care. It's a dummy account. It's just used to transfer your money from A to B. Now, another problem you're going to have too, you get your money back. Those are the lucky ones that went through PayPal. The other ones to go through the credit card, bank institution, they're going to wait the whole 3-month process because that's what it takes to go through. Probably by then you still won't be able to get the system. And then the other nightmare of it all, what if you get the new edition system and it bricks? For those who sit there and say at the end of the day, well, you know, it's not going to happen. It's not going to brick. You tell that story to yourself every single time. And these things brick. They do. You know why? Because you can't put PC parts in a compressed case. They're going to heat up. This is the part I swear, console gamer, you really, really ticking me off on this one. And just getting you trying to understand. Some of y'all do understand. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But the other half, my goodness, what the freak is wrong with you? I literally had a conversation with somebody. I said, well, you know, it's not going to happen. I build PCs, Joker, at the end of the day. I know what these parts can do. I know they overheat. So if you're going to tell me from a person's point of view who builds machines with the same parts like this, right? I know what these things do. This is why I spend the money for the liquid cooling system to put them in there in big open cases so my stuff doesn't overheat and I'm not losing my investment.
So if I'm telling you this, that the very parts that you have sitting in your system are not candy apple parts, they're actually PC parts sitting in there, then that means your system has a high chance of overheating because it's in a compressed case. Tell me the last time you seen somebody take a 4090 graphic card, freaking M2s in there, freaking i9, i7 processor, and stick it inside of a compressed case with a little fan on the side. Tell me who. Tell me any store who builds anything like that. Not one. Every single store, even a case down to 500, 400, 300. Every last one of them have big open cases, lots of airflow. So you just took a very powerful parts, you stuck them into a little tiny compressed case, and you think it's not going to overheat? Oh, it's going to overheat. It definitely is. It's definitely going to overheat. Definitely. So that's the other nightmare. So you have one part's going to be, are you going to get the system or not? Yeah, it's a pre-order. You don't even know if they got it or not. So that's another one right there. The other one is going to be that when you do get the system, if you did buy one and you got it, is it going to brick on you? That's another problem. Remember the PS5 system, the rules behind that system was you can't play the system for long hours because they overheat. And you got parts in here that are much more higher than the PS5, which means you run an even higher chance now of overheating. Did they change the case out? Did they give you a bigger case, more open case, liquid cooling system, anything? 2 fans in there would have been at least nice. An intake, outtake fan. No, they didn't give you any of that. They give you 1 fan. They give you the same system they probably got in the other one. That's why I can't wait for the tear down. If they tear that machine down and that fan looks exactly the same way as the other one, you are so screwed. It is not even funny on how screwed you are. But what would I know at the end of the day? I mean, I wouldn't know anything at all, period. I build PCs. I wouldn't know a thing about it at all. I wouldn't know anything about cooling and all that stuff. I mean, what would I know at the end of the day? I'm just watch y'all stuff burn out. That's what's going to happen. Literally, it happened in the other system. Xbox is still playing with it too. All the console systems that are built with all those powerful parts. You can't do that. I told you in one video, I said, if you want powerful parts, you're going to pay money. You can't complain about paying that money. You want those parts. You want to be considered to have equal to PC. Guess what? If you want to be equal to PC, parts cost money. You're going to have to pay those parts. The difference between PC is, for us to get a PC at $700, $800, $900 is cheap for us. That's cheap. Because we're used to seeing our PCs somewhere running around like $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. That's our price range in there. So to get a PC at maybe about $800, $900, that's cheap for us. For you guys to pay $800, $900 for something new, you guys lost it at $700. So again, if you want powerful parts, if you want the big hard drives, you want the big graphic cards, you want the big CPUs and all that other good stuff at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay for it. Your system's going to go up by a lot. So if you thought $700 was expensive, when the PS6 comes out, I guarantee that thing's going to tilt near somewhere between $9,000 to $1,000. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And they're going to nickel and dime the daylights out of you. They're going to say you're going to pay extra for this, and you're going to pay extra for that, and extra for this and that. Or it could be far worse. They can only have their parts only. You can pay a lot more for that, because it could be worse than that. But that's what I'm explaining to you. And that's literally what's going to happen. But that's the nightmare right now that you're going to be facing is, even if you do get the system, that's what I would rather wait. You don't have to wait anyway. You're going to still have to wait because the scalpers are going to take them all anyway. But even if you do get one, and you get it from a scalper and it bricks, how do you return that? Because technically you don't have a receipt. You got a receipt that you paid for it, but they're still going to know exactly how you paid for it and where you got it from. Did you get it from a location store? Whatever. It's going to be a headache at the end of the day to get that thing and take it back and get your money. You don't have to go through PayPal. You got to file a complaint. Can't go through them at all, period. PS5. History repeats itself. It constantly repeats itself. You know, and if you don't learn from it, then you're just going to repeat it over and over again. You're going to brick. These things are bricking left and right. And you remember all this crazy stuff they wanted? These systems were bricking like crazy. Brick, brick, brick. How to fix a brick. Brick, brick, brick. My system brick. My system went down. My system's not running anymore. My system shut down on me. Brick, 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 brick. See what I'm getting at here? This guy got a brick PS5 from a scalper. That's another nightmare you don't have to worry about. Because these systems start bricking left and right, you could very well get a brick system. Anything could happen. This is what I'm talking about, the nightmare that console now has hit. I never would have thought the day that I basically plugged in my Tanny Pong console system that this is how it would end. Like I said, you got two problems. You got companies on the other hand trying to make consoles more like PC, but giving you these dinky little cases at the end of the day. That's going to be overheating from the door. That's somebody want to take it out and fix that problem for the door. Most people don't want to take it out and do it. You got the other half that basically that you're going to have to deal with the fact that the system does carry a high chance of bricking. And everybody knows. Come on, you're a noob if you don't know this. Everybody knows this. The first systems always brick and have problems. All of them have problems. They all brick and have problems. Who in their right mind buys a pre-order on a system that just came out, knowing that it could have a high potential of bugs? Man, I had a buddy of mine, he got a PS5, he was so happy. He got 3 days out of it before it bricked. 3 days. That's it. And then most of them have all kinds of weird quirks that can go off. There was an incident with the Xbox systems where the drives were opening up in the middle of gameplay. Can you imagine that crap playing in the middle of Call of Duty, having the highest score and your drive opens up on you? All kinds of stuff. They all have problems. They're just not reading correctly. One of the problems that the Dreamcast had was the disc wouldn't read. That's one of the biggest problems they had. The disc would not read. You put the disc in, it wouldn't play nothing. It would come up to the option screen. You see that little, you see your little icons dancing back and forth in front of you. Yeah, it wouldn't read for jack. You had a problem with that. Sega had the same issue too. Systems wouldn't read. Nintendo, we all remember that, turned into saxophone players overnight, blowing in the cartridges, trying to get them to work. I remember going through that. With Zelda, man, it seemed to work for some reason. And then you had to do that little trick where sometimes you had a cartridge with inside the bay with a cartridge. It's just crazy stuff you had to go through. But everybody went through it and used to the bugs. But these systems just now coming out, brand new. And then for some people to sit there and say, well, you know, hey, they tested these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they tested them, but if they did, you wouldn't have so many bricks. I mean, come on. You expect to have a few bricks here and there, but not like this. This is with Brick City. You already had enough bricks to build a house on this. I'm not good at the 3-4 line. I do throw some bricks, but not as many bricks as I've seen here. And mind you, I don't want to think I'm ranking on PS5, because no. Xbox, come on, man. I've seen you guys do some jacked up stuff in there, because I used to be an Xbox fanboy. And what I went through with the Xbox 360, I will never forget that as long as I live. I think that's the reason why I won't go near an Xbox system. That thing scarred me for life. I was forced to go out and buy new systems because I had a huge family on there I gained with. And again, they weren't cheap systems. $400 or $500 a system, something like 20-something systems. What the freak. And then find out they were basically recycling the motherboards with another jacked up part right there. Because you would think, come on, you make 8 or 9 different versions of this system. We had the core system, we had some other arcade system. You had the Resident Evil, you had the Halo Edition, Gears of War. There's a whole bunch of these, right? All different forms of limited edition boxes. There was a Star Wars version. There's a whole bunch of them. I think they had one called Mirror's Edge. I'm pretty sure they had one for her too. But anyway, and you would think, after all these different boxes that they're bringing out, that this Red Ring wouldn't exist. But it kept popping up everywhere. And then they came with this new all-black 360 Elite Edition. I bought that too. $500 for that unit. Actually, $530 with the tax. But anyway, bought the system. It did last a little longer than the rest of them, but eventually it burned out. So then you start thinking, that's when I hit my freaking final brick. I think when I hit the Elite system, I opened it up, went inside, and I was like, oh, yeah. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. Especially when you build and you recognize motherboards, you're like, really? This is what I paid all this money for? I could have built this myself. Anyway, but it had a lot of exclusive titles on it, so yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I started marking my boards. So I got kind of curious. I marked the board, put something on it. Maybe they couldn't see it, and then I would send it back in the coffin. That's where the coffin came from. It came from the 360, so you know that from the door. That's where coffins came from. And you send it back in the coffin, and it came back, and my board didn't have the mark on it. There's a different board in there. I did this multiple times, which means they were swapping boards out. Which means in all the new consoles they claimed that they were bringing out, I think there were recycled boards in there. They were just basically changing the cases. We literally had this conversation in the chat room with a bunch of people. Like, how many people believe that the new console system that you just purchased literally is sitting with a recycled board? Yeah. Switch and bait game. Freaking unbelievable. That's why I don't have any trust when it comes to console. They really don't. The older systems, I have more trust in. Because those systems were what they are. That's what it is. Look at this brick. Brick, 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 brick. Bricky, bricky, brick. And then you got PlayStation fans talking about how it's the end for the Xbox. No, it's the end for all console. You missed the boat on this one. You're so far behind, really. You fanboys got to understand. I don't care how powerful your system is. You can't get it. You can't buy it. Your scalpers are going to get it way before you do. I don't care what you talk about. I don't care what they put on it. And on top of that, again, I can't explain this enough. The more powerful they make your system, the higher rated chance you have of breaking your system. Unless you're creative and you're basically willing to rip that thing out of the case, drop a liquid cooling system, open it up that area where you have a lot of breathing room, which means you're going to remove that power supply, throw it on a ribbon, and bounce it someplace else in the case, and go with that. But some of y'all are not ready to go in there. So you can't go in there and say, oh, we got the most powerful system in the world. Only problem is you can't get the most powerful system in the world. You don't have it, and technically you don't have the most powerful system in the world. That would be SPC, which I'm both, but again, if I'm talking about powerful equipment, that'd be PC. You see my parts over here? I can choose what I want to put in my system. That's the beautiful thing about it. And I don't spend a lot of money if I don't want to, which I love that too. And your graphic card is about 5 years old, just to let you know. But anyway, yeah, they were in there talking about, we got the most powerful system. You do not have it because you can't get it at all, period. And even if someone was able to get one, guess what they're going to do with it? They're going to sell it and get a lot of money for it. That's what they're going to do. Because that's the new thing now. It was like that back in the day. But it wasn't scalpers involved. These were actual gamers making these sales. Not a person coming in and ripping off every console and charging you freaking ridiculous amounts of money. It is so bad. Like I said, I heard another person saying that they're now going to, you pay them $10,000 and they'll find a system for you. Wow, $10,000. You're going to pay $10,000 for a system? That really? That's kind of pitiful at the end of the day. I spent 10 grand. I can't wait to meet somebody at the end of the day that said they spent that much money for that system. I'm going to laugh my head off at the end of the day. Oh, fantastic. Here's the specs on my PC. Enjoy. I don't care if it is limited edition. It's a gaming system. So unless you're going to stick that thing in a box somewhere or a case somewhere, never open it up, have it sitting on top of a shelf, that's the only way. If you're going to open that thing up, the minute you open it up, basically the value drops on it by a lot. It's a used system. And you can't get two of them. You can only get one. If you're lucky to get two of them, then that means, I'm talking about the limited edition, 30-year limited edition. If you're lucky to get one of them, you can't open that thing up. You can't even play it. So you spent that much money for a system that you can't even play. And the odds of you getting another one, because most people, if it was me, and they weren't scalping, I would buy the limited edition, put that on a shelf somewhere, I wouldn't even touch it. And I would buy another one and play that one. But you can't do that, because there isn't any. And if you try to find someone who has one, they're going to charge you a lot of money. Let me tell you something. Come this Christmas, this is going to be beyond your nightmare. This is going to be the reality of what console will be going to from now on. Until the companies decide that, hey, look, what we're going to do is we're going to make these things that you have to come into the store and pick them up only, and you have to show ID. This is how you end that nonsense. But they're not. They're making money. They couldn't care less. And for you fanboys at the end of the day that want to go all rile out on your console system, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. You're supporting a company that doesn't even support you. Do you think about that? You think they care about your little bit of money? They have scalpers that come in. They'll pay them thousands and thousands of dollars. They'll wipe out their systems. They'll pay them whatever they want. They can show at the end of the day, hey, look, we hit this margin. Then, at the end of the day, these companies have board of directors to answer to. You know that, right? So they have to show that this product is making money. These are our sales for this year. So it's all about money and about quantity on how many they sell. And if they have to use the scalpers to do it, they will. And as for you, the hardcore fanboy at the end of the day, the company doesn't care about jack about you at the end of the day. All you are is just a dollar symbol. That's what you are. I don't get all riled up over PC at the end of the day and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Because at the end of the day, it's money. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. These machines, all these parts, money. That's it. No PC fanboy at the end of the day. And I gave up on that console fanboy. I was one of them. I was an Xbox owner. Gave up on that when I finally started seeing all the systems burning out left and right and realized that it's all about money at the end of the day. They couldn't care less about their fan base at the end of the day. It's all about money. If they did, they could have fixed that system a long time ago. You mean to tell me you bring out so many different versions of the system and all of them had the same defect on it? You couldn't have went in and basically swapped out the motherboard, put in a bigger case, better fans, something at the end of the day. That was it. Same product design on every single system. The only thing you swapped out was a different hard drive and kind of put some Jasper chip into it. It still burnt out. I had one. So after that, I was like, I'm done. All that fanboy nonsense, whatever. It's company. That's what it is. The fanboys have been there getting all hyped up, telling me, yeah, you can't even get it. And if you could get it, chances are it's going to burn out. And you think that's worse? Well, right now, we're not even in the Christmas season yet. Right now, we haven't even hit Halloween yet. And these systems already are bought out, already that fast. Can you imagine they're already getting ready for November the 7th? They're going to hit those. Anything that comes in stock, they're going to hit those. Christmas comes in, they're definitely going to hit them. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, they're going to drain every single one of them. They're going to drain all of them before Black Friday comes in. If I were them at the end of the day, oh, heck yeah. I would hit your system basically in October just to show that I can do it. Just to show you what we can do. And then turn around and say something like, hey, if you want one of these systems at the end of the day, you give me $10,000. Because I know Christmas time is coming up, and this is going to be a very popular item. And I know some people are going to pay me that money. So, I'm going to hit you in October. I'm going to hit you in November, because that's when they're going to launch this thing out. I'm going to take all of those. And then, when we get around Christmas time, I'm going to hit you every single day to make sure I can get as many as I can, because I know these things are going to become high demand and I can sell them for 10 times more in the Christmas season than what I can sell them now. That's literally what's going to happen to you. See if I'm joking on that one and see if it don't happen. Christmas time, trying to get a very popular item, that price is going to jump. You thought the price on eBay is a crazy show? You're going to see, matter of fact, there is Tesla money on there right now. Somebody was basically trying to sell one for $50,000. That's the price of a Tesla. 50 grand. One's 35,000. Another one's 10,000. And there are people betting on it. Oh my goodness. The first things first, the limited edition. Let me explain something to you. That system would have to be here before you're on it. You would have to leave the earth in order for that thing to pretty appreciate. You know how long it takes for a game system to pretty much become worth money? It takes a while. And on top of that, you have to have something really crazy rare. I mean, very, very rare. Like the Nintendo cartridge with the 5 switches on it. You get one of them, they're worth $50,000 if you can find one. They're extremely rare. They didn't make a lot of them. They're very rare. There's certain games that they have that they don't have in circulation and very hard to get. The game E.T. on Atari, It's another game worth a lot of money. You know why? You ever watched the history on the whole making of E.T. on Atari? How basically it was one of the worst games ever made for Atari and they got rid of it. They took those games and they stuck them in a landfill and filled them up. No one knows where they're at. But a few of them are in circulation and they're worth a lot of money now if you find one. It's like finding a double-headed quarter at the end of the day. It has to be rare, extremely rare. And it has to be a sought-after item. It's a sought-after item right now because everybody wants it. But that could die out, like the Cabbage Patch Kids. Couldn't give one of those away now. But at one point, people were ready to kill you for one of those things. They fought so much in the store. The store owner had a baseball bat in his hand to defend himself because they were getting that rough in there. But now you couldn't even give one of those things away. Nobody wants those things. And then somebody might buy them here and there. So basically about it, but nobody really wants them. You have to find something rare. That's not going to be rare at all. Just going to be a collector's, that's all. Rare game systems that are worth a lot of money. There are certain games that you can find them. They're extremely, it's like the N64s. The ones with the green see-through cases. The ones with the Pikachu. Remember the one that came with the Pikachu on it? That one, they're very rare. How much money can you get for them? They can range from $2,000 to $300. You're looking at a system that you can find an Apple PC, still intact, in a box, brand new, mint condition. Do you have any idea how much that thing is worth at the end of the day? A lot of money. The first Apple PC that came with the floppy drive. That's by Macintosh, I think it was. Yeah, you find one of them, mint condition in a box, you're talking about a ton of money. And how rare and how many they made. That's another thing that makes it extremely rare. 12,000 is not rare. Has to be really super rare. The system has to be around for a while. See all these systems, how old they are? These are old systems. They've been around forever. That's why they're worth so much money. That system's brand new. It's not worth any money right now. If you try to base these, if you sell it right now, it's probably going to be worth a little bit. Now, at its prime, like the what do they call the, what are those things called? Little tiny dolls like people are collecting like crazy, little stuffed toys. Can't think of the things in the day. But at that particular time, they were worth a lot of money. But now they're not worth jack anymore. People held out and thought they're going to be worth a lot of money. And I forgot what those things were called. And now they're not worth anything. You can find those things all over in Rite Aid and stuff like that. And they're not worth anything. But if you had sold them at that particular time, it'd have been good. It's much like stock. You know what I mean? If your stock peaks to a certain high level, that would be the right time to sell it. If you sell it too fast, it immatures. I just thought about something too. I got to put money in my Robinhood account. But basically, it matures. But if you sell it too fast, it basically you lose money. But if you get it right at that very peak, boom, and you sell it, you can get a ton of money right there. Japanese editions of Dreamcast worth a lot of money. They're hard to get, extremely hard to get. This is a Japanese console. And mind, they made a lot of Japanese consoles. It depends on which one of these consoles are actually worth money. The Neo Geo Gold, that's another one. They're $1,000 to get one of them. Neo Geos are basically expensive systems. You get one of these, the original cartridge, not the CD-ROM, you're talking about $20,000 easy. You get your hands on a brand new mint condition Steel Battalion controller, they're worth about maybe a couple grand if you can get one of them. New, brand new in the box, unopened. See what I mean? I told you? What did I tell you? I know my stuff at the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I have in my collection? I got the laser tag when it first came out. You know how much money that thing's worth at the end of the day? Thundercats, Transformers, all that stuff. All that stuff is worth a ton of money. Barbie dolls, yeah, I got Barbie dolls. You know why? Barbies are worth a lot of money depending on which ones you got. Mine come from the era of 1950s. Fisher Price, another toy worth a lot of money. If you get the right ones, they're worth a ton of money. Easy bake ovens, light bright, stuff like that. Those particular toys in that era, as long as they're mint condition in a box and they're sealed, they can be worth a lot of money. The gold, they came with an all gold limited edition for N64, worth money. If you got one mint condition in a box, they're worth a ton. You're talking about rare consoles. The PS1, when they came out, they had a black one. That was another rare one they had right there. Another hard one to get. Did you know that the Sega system had a CD-ROM system? Yeah, another one. If you got, like, most people have those Japanese games. Oh, I forgot about this one right here. This is another one. This is a console system that was made for the GameCube. It never came out, but I heard there was rumors that they did have some in circulation. You get one of these, you got a retirement. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's worth money. Stuff that came from that early era of the console boom. Yeah, that's gonna be worth a lot of money, especially the N64s. You got a mint condition in a box, you got a gold mine on your hands. Gee whiz, I remember half of this stuff. They're right there. That's Macintosh. That's Macintosh and Apple. They have their own gaming system right there. Atom. That's another system with a lot of money. You can find one in mint condition in a box, which is almost impossible to find one. They're very impossible. You can find them, but finding one in mint condition in a box, never opened, yeah, good luck on that one. So you see how old these systems are? But what makes them valuable if you have them mint condition in boxes. Never even heard of this. What the heck was this for? Commodore 64. Almost forgot about them. That's another system. You find a Commodore 64 in a box, guess what? You got some money in your pockets. But they got to be mint, untouched. And there I got a ray gun in there. I got a ray gun in there from the 1960 era. That gun in there is worth $60,000. Yep, it's untouched. It hasn't been opened in that long. That's what I love about rare stuff. Those toys I have in there, them old vintage toys, no one has opened them for that long. They've been sitting in those little packages for that long. That ray gun's worth 60 grand. Sits in a box in there. No collectors, yep. That's when I squeezed and it sparked up, yeah. Remember those guns back in the day? Yeah, in about the 60 eras that gun came out. I found it was worth 60 grand. I had it appraised. Now, what am I doing with that? Nothing. It's going to stay in there. I'm never going to sell it because it's mine at the end of the day, and chances are when I die, somebody else will sell it and probably get the money off of it. Thundercats, Transformers, My Little Pony, especially My Little Ponies are worth a lot of money. Super Nintendo consoles, gold cartridges, worth money. Where is the, let me see, rarest Nintendo cartridge. Now, you got one of these. You're also retired. You can go get yourself a nice boat, go fishing around the world, whatever you want to do. You're retired. You never have to work again. Oh, this is it right here. So, this one here is one of the most rarest cartridges over. It's when I told you when it has the switches on it. Right there, there's your switches. Right there. That's an extremely rare cartridge. So, basically, the programmers who designed this cartridge and everything that went with it is that every time you would beat a game, one of those switches would pop up and would give you access to a game that was never launched. So there are 5 games on there that never ever launched to the console system for the NES. You have to beat the game in order to get the switch to pop up. Do you have any idea what those things are worth? Starting point, $50,000. They start off with at 50 grand. So there was a funny story about a guy who was at a flea market, and he was digging through a pile of stuff, and he found one. The guy didn't even know what he had. So that's why I said at the end of the day that knowledge is power at the end of the day. And the reason why it's power because you can have money all around you. You just don't know how to get it. because you don't have the knowledge to obtain it. That's why. But it's there. It's there. It's there every day, staring you in the face, and you just don't see it. So you can go to a garage sale and you can have collectibles right in front of you worth a lot of money. And there's all kinds of crazy stories about people going to garage sales and finding antiques that even the people who had them didn't even know what they were, and bought them and then took them to the antique roadshow and ended up becoming millionaires. Like the woman digging in her backyard with a spoon, found out the spoon belonged to the history of Henry VIII. And it's actually one of the rarest pieces that was actually missing from the collection. But not only that, to find that their ancestry goes back that they're actually descendants from Henry VIII. Isn't that an interesting find altogether? Like, you're royalty at the end of the day, you don't even know it. So with that being said, a lot of people are like that too. They're royalty and don't even know who they are until they get that test done. They go, really? Seriously? You gotta be kidding me. Me? Yeah, there you go. But anyway. So yeah, this guy went to a garage sale, he was digging around, and he found one of these on the bottom. He knew what it was. He knew exactly what it was. And he almost passed out. He was like, oh my goodness. I couldn't believe he found one of those. And you gotta be like, he didn't want to pay too much money for it, because the guy would have caught on. But what he paid for the crate, he paid $25 for the whole crate. That's what he did. Took it back, got in praise. That thing started up at 50 grand for him. Yep. I mean, that's what they're worth. They're worth starting 50,000. They can go up. Now, if you're talking about your collector edition for your PS5 system, spending $5,000 for a freaking or $50,000 for a system that's going to take time to be able to be worth money. It's much like wine. Wine takes time to age. The longer it takes to age, the more money it's actually worth. If you got wine that's been around since the beginning of Christ, you know how much money that bottle is worth? It's worth a lot of money. But if you got something that basically has been around for a couple months, it ain't worth jack at all, period. It's just because it's hyped up for that particular moment. When the hype is gone, then it's not worth anything. That, on the other hand, is worth a ton of money. That's your retirement right there. At 50,000, yeah, you can retire at 50,000 if you know how to basically invest it right. You can. You can easily flip 50. You can't flip 50, you got a problem. You can't even flip 20, 30, 40, or 50 bucks. You got a problem. You should be able to flip it. Yeah. So with that being said, these are rare conditions. If I'm going to sit there and spend that kind of money for something, I'm going to spend it on something that's going to basically give me money back. I'm going to invest it into something. Now, chances are anyone who has the money to spend $50,000 on something already has the money invested in something and probably has the money to pay to get it to begin with. You got it from there. That's just basic common sense. People driving Lamborghinis and Bugattis don't complain about gas, don't complain about parts, don't complain about anything, because if you got the money to drive a car like that, you got the money to repair it, fix it, and fill it with gas. So, yeah, that's where that goes at right there. Yeah, insanely rare. Super rare. Man, I passed out and had a heart attack too. I went through that when I went to that store and I found them quad skates. I went in, the guy turned on the lights, almost had a small heart attack. I was like, oh my goodness. It was like looking right into my past as a child. Every toy I ever wanted as a kid and I couldn't have was right there in front of me for me to buy. Went there and said, okay, I'm going to buy this, and that. I took a couple things. They got Power Rangers. I got the helmets and everything. I said, I'm going to take this, and that. And not Power Rangers from this era, from that actual era. So I said, I'm going to take this, and that, and I got to make a phone call. And I called my buddy that was like, look, man, I need a big favor from you, man. Like, I need you to get me a truck right now, like a big, big truck. I went right over to my bank. I took $10,000 out. I walked right back over, and I gave him a pile of money and said, I want everything you got in here. And that stuff sits in a warehouse right now. Yep, some of the stuff I just gave away. As a matter of fact, I had two Super Soakers out of that collection. And I remember a guy came in, he was a really nice guy. He came in, he was polite, he fixed everything. I had a problem with the internet. He fixed everything, relined the wire and everything. We got talking about old-fashioned toys. And he told me as a kid he got a Super Soaker for his birthday. And he set the gun down and somebody stole it. So he never got it back. And his mother never gave him another one because she thought he was foolish for losing it. And he can't find him. But I have him. I had one in mint condition. I gave it to him. Yep. You gotta see the look on people's faces. Kind of feel like like Santa Claus. You see the look on their faces. So that's how I made so much money on eBay. because I gave people back something that they couldn't get. I gave them a piece of their childhood. Because my vintage toys were mint, they were unopened, and they would be the first ones to ever open them. As if they got it for the first time. That's how I made a lot of money. And I made enough money to be able to support my company, which I have now. Which started with Digital One, and then Digital One supported all this company, and that company supported that one, and boom, here we are. But anyway, yeah. If I'm going to invest that kind of money, I'm definitely going to go with something like this. With some vintage, buy some vintage, spend some time hunting for vintage, or some treasure hunting, stuff like that. But treasure hunting is no good if you don't know what you're looking for. Yeah, do we have to go through all this? Yeah, I agree. I'm good. See right there? See those switches? That's an extremely rare cartridge. Very rare. You only made so many of them. Only so many of them. Now you see the switch right here. See what it says explain this? The switch is on and on. There we go. Every time you beat a game, the switches click, and that switch will shoot. To a game that they've never launched at all. It never made it to the. They have it, but it was just for that particular cartridge. That particular game was made for that. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. And if you know anything about the 5 cartridge, Nintendo cartridge with the 5 screws. Nintendo systems with 5 screws are older games that were released on the NES first. It came out in 1986. Nintendo designed them with 3 screws with a clip at the top. Now, the reason why for the 5 screws is because these are the Japanese. These are the ones that actually have a built-in converter into them so they can be played on American systems. But these are the first ones to have 5 screws. So basically, if you have old NES cartridges and you've seen it with the 5 of them, that converter piece is a little hard drive piece in there that's worth a lot of money. They're worth $1,000 if you have one. So yeah, that's what they have. They have 5 screws on the back. And if you pull out those 5 screws, you may find one. It depends on who got into it first. If somebody got into it first, they pulled them. But if they didn't, and you find that little piece in there, that little hard drive, the little piece of converter in there, it'll worth a lot of money if you got one. So imagine if you had 10 of them in your house. That's 10 grand you got right there in your pocket. So for those, and they're right here. 5 screw. You gotta look all this stuff up. So you can never know. You be walking around. I saw a crate full of cartridges, and I bought the whole crate. One of them had it. Out of all of them, one had it in there. Did I sell it? No, heck no. I'm a collector. So you got 3 screws. That's the new ones have 3 ones, and the old ones have 5. It would be the first NES to have one. Go to a garage sale, they could have something like a vase sitting there. You have 8 people pass by that vase because they don't know what it is. A person who does know it could be driving by and going, oh, that can't be what I think it is. Do you know what that is over there? Oh, we gotta go. Stop the car, stop the car, stop the car. Come out and like, I want you to the vase. I want $2 for it. Oh man, no problem, here, $2. Get back in the car, like, oh my God, we gotta go. Car burn off, you know you're in trouble now. Burn off to go right to an appraisal. Say, this is what I think. Like, yeah, it is what it is. It's actually real. How much can I get for it? Like, 50,000, 40,000, 30,000. You'd be surprised. People find crazy stuff in garage sales. Yep. Because people don't know what they are. You ever saw the thing with Malcolm in the Middle when they did the garage sale and they found he had a motherboard from when Bill Gates first started? I don't even know how he got the father. The father was basically in there. Remember, it's funny about Malcolm in the Middle. The father's intelligent. He's like super crazy intelligent. It doesn't seem that way, but he is. He's very, very, very intelligent. That's where Malcolm gets his intelligence from. He gets his temper and hostile attitude from the mother. The mother also is intelligent, but the father's actually much smarter. You ever watch when they go back, basically when they first started, the father was intelligent, like crazy intelligent. He had a company, he was running for a big company and all that and everything. Yeah, he's very, very intelligent. They got their intelligence from the father, but the father also too had another side to him too. He's mischief. He likes to get in trouble. He likes to get in fights. He's rowdy. He's out of control. And then the mother has this really hot temper, and the kids got the hot temper. They got the freaking rowdy attitude, and they got the intelligence. Reese is smart. Reese became a chef. He has a gift for food. He just couldn't figure out what his nick was, but he's actually smart. Remember, you ever seen when he became a chef? He's an amazing chef. Dewey's also freaking crazy smart too. He's also very intelligent. He's actually like the low key, which they didn't realize it, but remember he built an entire piano out of pipes and parts at the end of the day. And Malcolm is intelligent because he basically displays it and shows it. They know he's intelligent. They're all intelligent. Ever watch that show very carefully? Even Francis is intelligent. But what problem is that they could do what they could do, but the destructive behavior that they have, which is implanted to them, keeps them from being what they are. When Francis basically disconnected from the family and went out to the ranch, he became a completely different person. He ran the entire ranch, ran a business, responsibility, the whole 9 yards, the opposite of what he was when he was home, getting in all this trouble. There's people called Circus. There's a guy called Circus he hung around with. They're always doing mischief stuff. So he has this part of him that is the destructive side from his father. He's got this bad temper from the mother, but he's got the intelligence from the father also too. Again, they're walking. It's insane what they become. That's what I love about Malcolm in the Middle. They're not stupid. They're just crazy smart, but they're also too temperamental and freaking destructive. And the father's destructive because when the father got some money, he went out and bought a wood chipping machine and he started throwing stuff in it just for the sake of it because it was fun. He was renting out tools. Like he rented out the cement roller, whatever it was called, and crushed a birthday cake. He was crushing stuff with it. He's destructive. Reese is destructive. He destroyed stuff. He got more of the father's side. Dewey has it. He's destructive. But on top of that, the mother has an insane temper, and they got that too. And they got the intelligence from the father because the father is super crazy smart. You remember the whole they were making the toy, they're making the robot for war games, and he went berserk with it. He designed this freaking insane robot that basically shot bees. There you go. Father's crazy smart. He's very, very smart. And rich at that. On top of that, his family's super rich. But anyway, yeah, the father's crazy smart. That's where Malcolm got his. That's where they all got their intelligence from. But they use their intelligence in different ways. Reese uses his intelligence to commit crimes. Malcolm does crimes too at the end of the day. He's super intelligent. He's reckless. Yep. And Dewey's more under key. Like he does stuff, but it's pretty much under key. But he does stuff. I love that show so much. And then on top of that, Francis is just all out like the mother. He's just like the mother. Super high temper. Intelligent, but he's just like the mother. And the mother are just alike. That's why they don't get along. They're too much alike. They're way too much alike. But they're exactly the same, which is funny. And ended up marrying a woman that was just like his mom, which is the Eskimo woman. I think she's Eskimo, or she's Indian. I think she's Eskimo. But anyway, yeah, he married a woman just like his mom. And they didn't get along because they were too much alike like each other. That's funny. But she got along with the father, but she couldn't get along with the mother. Oh man. That show is freaking unbelievable, man. But yeah, they're all intelligent. Even the father. You don't realize that the father was so stupid. When you see that episode where he built that freaking killer robot, that thing was insane, man. That thing had a guiding laser system and everything. It shot hornets out of it. Yeah, he does some crazy stuff. And he turned around, she called herself, and it's weird how that story plays off because she had said it took her so long to tame him because he was out of control. Like he was way beyond out of control. She was able to tame him. And then turned around and had 4 boys, and then Malcolm, and Francis. And they got 4, right? Yeah, it's Dewey, Malcolm, and Francis, and Reese. Yeah, they got 4. So basically, yeah, ended up having 4 boys that are exactly like the father, which she now has to tame to get them to control them, because man, it took me forever to get him in line, now to get all 4 of them in line, and they're terrified of her, which is interesting. It's funny. It's all funny. Got to think of the big picture in that. All right, so I'm going to go pick up my rack system pretty soon as the store opens up and get the process done to basically start modification of the rack to get it ready for the new setup. Forts will set up here. Gotta pick me up a nice graphic card for this. I'm only going to get into the 1650. I'm not gonna go all out with it. 1650. I want it for a minute. We got a second liquid cooling system, man. I really don't need it for that. I wonder if I can just dedicate it for that at the end of the day. That would be nice, to tell you the truth. Liquid cooling system for the 1650 graphic card. Yeah, it's a single. Yeah, that definitely would work. 1650. So it's got to go directly to a hard drive. That's a hard drive right there for that one. All right, so let me see.
DC politicians have made our lives unaffordable. With these new voices willing to work together for change. Quaker Chambers. Unleash the imagination.
Oh. You can put them in that way. I didn't know you could do that. That's freaking sick. So wait, there's 4 holes in the that's really true. Oh yeah, it is. Huh. I don't know why I didn't see it up there. Interesting. I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool. That makes it so much easier. Alright, I see. Liquid cooling for GPU. GPU liquid cooler. For this PC. I don't throw something else in that thing. I only want one 100 millimeter right there. Liquid cooling system. What is that? Is liquid cooling system worth it? Yes, the heck it is. I'm running one right now. Definitely worth it. It's the only way to do it. See? Impossible for us to get our stuff scalped because, again, we have so much of it. It's unbelievable. It's like so much stuff to choose from. It is literally, we have so much stuff to choose from. It's not even funny. That's why I said we got a lot of stuff, man. But if they take this one, don't care. We got a bunch of them over here we can go to. Yep. That'll make it different. There's too many parts. Way too many parts. Look at this, 66 bucks. I don't need to run that at all, period, to tell you the truth, honestly. See right here? I love these right here. So, you know how you get on the front of your... So, you see right here? Right there? That display right there. Now, some of them with the display cost a little more because it does that weird display, right? But this right here, you can connect it on there. And this has a temperature gauge on it, right? So it has tabs that goes in and connects to there close to your CPU that give you a digital temperature readout and also do an LCD display right there on top of your liquid cooling copper block. Tell me that's not freaking sick. Absolutely sick. I'm putting one on mine. Putting one on mine right in the front so you can see it. Oh, I can't wait to do this open rack. Everything's gonna be exposed. It's gonna be out in the open. It's gonna be sick. I'm gonna build me a nice little rack system for it. I gotta build a nice little rack system to fit it on top of that rack to connect it in. Because we have to build a bridge for this one to connect onto to connect that to another bridge. Oh, I cannot wait for this thing. It's gonna be beast. It's gonna be beast. $35. $35. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a nice little dedicated system. I can modify that to run to keep the whatchamacallit nice and cooly. Nice and cooly. Sorry, people. I get excited about this kind of stuff. I love this. Oh my goodness. Really? I just paid $50 for this one over here. 37 now. This got this white one over here. It's pretty cool. I like this. Okay, people. I am happy I'm giddy like a schoolgirl with a new dress. Look, I'm gonna explain something to you at the end of the day. Man, give up console from the door. Just build a PC. Buy a PC, man. Because this nonsense, until these companies at the end of the day get to a point that they're going to basically stop the scalpers from going and do what they want to do, man, you're going to be victim to that nonsense. You are. You're going to be victim to it. And watch. I'll come back when November hits and watch them disappear off the shelves. Watch, you can't get them. You know why they're going to stock up on them? Christmas. That's why. They're going to make a ton of money in Christmas for them. Black Friday's coming up. They're going to take as many as they can. They're going to make a ton of money. And keep in mind, it's kind of like being held ransom. That's what it pretty much is. You're hostage. Can't do anything about it. And then the bigger nightmare you're going to have at the end of the day is how many are going to brick. That's another problem. You spend all this money for a system just to deal with the brick. Because everybody knows the first editions of all gaming systems, they brick. Everybody knows that. They've been doing it down through time. Every freaking console system ever purchased, anything, all kinds of problems, anything that could pop up, it happens on the system. When they first come out, they always have bugs. That's why I sat there and said, man, when they launched the 5090s, I'm not going near that thing. I'm going to wait. Remember the 4090s when they came out? Them things literally caught fire. Them things were catching on fire left and right. Oh, yeah, wait. That's a horrible scenery to see. Your PC on fire. You got all those parts in it. You paid for it. And my PCs, when I get to that point, are insured. Just in case something basically malfunctions in that case and I got to rebuy it again. I get them insured. But other than that, yeah, you need to wait. But then again, you got no choice but to wait. I mean, look on the bright side. I mean, at least they're doing you a favor. I hate to put it that way, because if you went out and bought that system, you'd be out some money. Better them have systems that brick than you. But they're going to happen. And then you have to worry about the fact that if they're that bold, that they're going to basically tell you that, hey, look, you gave me $10,000 and I'll basically find you a system. How do you know if the system's not going to be a brick unit? You never know. You do know who you're buying, what you're buying from, right? Let me see. Getting sold a brick PS5. Getting sold a brick PS5. Now, if you get sold one, you can contact the seller for help. Good luck on that one. Good luck on that one. If you got somebody with a brand new account, that's going to be scary. If you got somebody that's had an account, they've had it for a while, so and so, they got a reputation. That's what I look for. If I'm buying something from somebody, I do give some people a chance at the end of the day to be able to get a chance to sell something. I do trust people, but I'm making a big chance on that. At the end of the day, I'm going to do that. But if we're talking about this console system at the end of the day, it's a whole different story right there. That's a lot of money right there, to tell you the truth. So, again, they can just drop the entire account and just move on. It's a risk. It's a huge risk. Let me see. PS5. I don't get it. I mean, I did it myself. Systems with brick, but I've never seen systems have this kind of problem. Not in the generation I was in when I was gaming. He bought a brick system from GameStop. They sold him a brick system. People getting sold brick systems. Oh, by the way, good luck getting the controllers too, because they took the controllers too. Controllers are a lot of money now. You pay they said $180 for a controller now. So controllers are money. They're taking that. They took everything. So yeah, they got us $180 for a controller. You understand? But it's not, you have to understand the concept of it all. You haven't hit the launch date. Those are pre-orders sitting in there. You haven't hit the launch date. What do you think these things going to do on Black Friday? What do you think is going to happen on Christmas, near the Christmas holidays? You already went through. Everybody saw what happened the first time. It's going to happen again. I have no idea why. People are sitting back thinking that, oh, this is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to be different this time. They're going to put security code. I've had this conversation with so many people on foreign sites. It's not even funny. They're not going to be taken like they used to. It's going to be different this time. And what happened? Hey, there you go. Yep, it happened. All right, y'all enjoy what you got to do. I'm going to build me a PC at the end of the day. I took them to just buy yourself a PC. They're cheap. Get one for like $500, $600. You know what I mean? You're going to spend the same money. You don't need no stand with it. That's not even needed. You got free online play, which means you can go in there and you can play games for free, because they got games there for free if you want. Games are pretty cheap. And if you're sitting there saying, well, you know, they got exclusive titles. There is no exclusive titles. I've seen these. They did have me. They're boring. The games that they have from consoles now today are boring. They are boring. And some of them are just remastered games. That's pretty much it right there. So ain't really much. Just redoing the same thing over and over again. So all that hype is pretty much gone. So pretty much, yeah, you might just switch over, get yourself a PC. Choose your own parts, what you want to put in your system. Design it, customization, any way you want. Put mods on, and not get penalized for it at the end of the day. No online subscription, none of that at the end of the day. And guess what? You got a PC, which means basically you can use it to make money. Yeah, you can run like your eBay account on it. You can run like your Etsy account on it. You can run your Amazon account on it. You can build a website off of it. This PC right here is a gaming PC, and I run my company off at the same time. So it makes money. Yeah, my gaming console makes money. So think about that. You can put an eBay listing on it and make money on your console system. Make money. Yep. Get your emails, all that stuff. That's what it is. It's a business tool that makes money, and on top of that, you can turn it into a gaming system at the same time. Also got projector mapping applications on this PC also too, so I can do projector mapping applications if I want. Try doing that on a console. That's why I sit there and have these conversations with people who have consoles, and we're just like, no, you're not like PC. You can't run programs off your system. So I can go in there and I can run projector mapping, I can run this, I can run that, I can run anything I want off of this. These things make money at the end of the day. When you're selling your listing for your console system, you go on your PC to sell the listing on eBay, right? Well, a little easier when you can sell your PC. You literally can put the listing on your PC. You guys do coding and all that stuff at the end of the day. You can make games and all that stuff and make them look better. Do it on your PC. You don't get penalized or anything penalized for it. I don't pay any subscription costs. I pay subscription costs for that box over there. I don't pay for it over here. It's free. You don't have to worry about your systems overheating. You got control over all that. You got control over everything. That's the beautiful thing about it. And on top of that, you don't have to go through that scalping nightmare anymore. I'm not saying give up on console altogether. I'm just saying at the end of the day, you have to choose something better. Because if you don't, you're a hostage at the end of the day. That's pretty much what you guys are. You're hostages. What are you going to do? They just showed you at the end of the day, they can literally take your system anytime they want. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when November hits? How do you think you're going to get a hold of that thing? They're going to stock up on those in November because Black Friday is coming around the corner. And they're going to sell them through the roof on Black Friday. And as November goes through, they're going to grab every single one of them to get ready for Christmas. And in Christmas, they're going to continue to grab them. Because if they keep them out of your hands, that means they can sell them for whatever they want to sell them for. That's what it comes down to. So y'all need to get together, get a petition started, and start issuing it to these companies saying, hey, look, stop selling these things online so you can make it so we have to go in and pick them up so that way we can get a system, because that's the only way you're going to really get one. Mind you, they work in all different types of ways. Like I said, you got a better off of basically going and just picking one up. If they're rare to get online, think how much rarer these things are going to become to try to pick one up from a local store. If you make them so everybody can pick them up at the local store, they're not rare anymore. They're easier to get. Everybody can get their hands on one. But if you make these things where the scalpers continue to do what they do, you try to pick one of these things from a store, you're going to have problems on your hands. Someone's going to rob you for one of these units. They're going to rob you because they know they can sell it for a lot of money because the scalpers are doing it. See the cause and effect of this nightmare? That's what's going to happen. So now you're going to have, now scalpers cause multiple fluctuations of problems. They come in, they take the systems, they make them extremely rare. Everybody gets them, starts selling them because they know if the scalpers getting money, they want to get money too. So that means if you're able to get one of these systems offline, you run the risk of getting hurt over one of these machines because again, someone's intention is either to keep it for themselves or to sell it and get money. You become a potential target. I watch people, I myself, when I used to go to go pick up game systems and stuff like that, I carried. You have to carry. You know how jacked up that is? When you have to literally carry a freaking firearm to pick up a video game, that is messed up at the end of the day. But that's what happens. You literally got to carry a firearm to protect your family. You wouldn't even take my kids to that nonsense anymore. Because before you could take the kids and all have fun, and people get out there and joke and laugh and have fun, and you walk home with your friends, and that was it. I told you about the time I went to go pick up the Gears of War, the Lancer. I brought one of my friends with him because he was licensed to carry. And he went up there with us to pick up our stuff, and he was carrying his gun open because he has open carry. And he walked in there with that loaded gun. We picked up our stuff, and we walked right through the neighborhood. We got through 4 blocks in that area where basically we weren't known at, and we were able to get past through there because he had that firearm sitting on the side. Nobody was willing to step, and nobody wanted to get shot. And by the time we got to our block, it was good because we knew everybody down there. That's how messed up it is. So now you imagine a system that the scalpers are taking every single one of them, and now the systems are super rare. You find somebody, one of them, you run the risk of getting robbed for one of them, or even worse, getting shot for one of them. Because they know they can sell for a lot of money. That's what the scalpers did. Call it a ripple effect. So you're going to watch all kinds of nut stuff go on in stores on Black Friday, all kinds of crimes being committed, people going to jail for a console system. And if you think it's that far-fetched, well, check out the Cabbage Patch video. These people fought each other, went to the hospital, all kinds of dumb nonsense, where the serial killer had to carry a steel baseball bat to defend himself because the crowd got that rowdy over a doll. People are crazy. You gotta be kidding me. I'm not going through all that madness at the end of the day. I'll build me a PC and be done with it. Ugh. That's the other part. That's the other part that's scary. Because they made it super rare, and they made the system basically hard to get now. You run the risk of basically putting your life in danger picking one up from a store. I wouldn't dare walk in there and pick up a PS5, pick his PS5 Pro, and walk in there unarmed. I usually carry non-lethals, but that day I'm carrying lethal rounds. I'm carrying my Teflons. Because again, I'm not trying to get killed over a system. But again, that's stupid at the end of the day that I literally got to sit there and think to myself, Ken, we got to go in here and we got to basically put a firearm, carry Teflon rounds, and walk into a store as if we're walking into Fort Knox to pick up money for a game system. It ain't worth my time at all, period. Nope. This is where consoles have gotten to now. You know, it used to be, like I said, back in the day, everybody in line waiting for the N64. We're all joking and laughing with each other, having fun. We're all gamers at the end of the day, having fun and all. Once in a blue moon, you find some incident that pop up like that. Now you get one of those systems, man, that's a target on your back. You're asking for it. People rob people with the PS5 systems. You got a target on your back if you pick up a console system today. Crazy stories, man. I heard of a family, a father and son picked up a game system. And was in the car, and the guy came over and tapped on the glass with a gun. He had to hand over the system. You know how messed up that is? That we actually get to that point where you're going to rob somebody for a console system and a kid in the back car. Because you know why? They don't want it for themselves, they want to sell it. because they know they can get more money than what it's worth. That's not a good reputation for the console system. You don't hear that stuff going on. When the 4090s came out, you didn't hear about no crazy crap going on like that at the end of the day, or getting robbed for a 4090 graphic card. Most people don't even know what the freak that thing is at the end of the day. They don't know what it is. They think it's a cell phone or something. I'm not saying people are naive and don't know, but what's the odds of a person know if I'm walking with a 4090 graphic card and you're walking with the PS5, who do you think's going to get hit first? I think you're going to get hit first before me. And if they do get it, where are they going to put it at? They probably don't even have a PC that runs it, because remember, you have to have certain specifications to run that card at the end of the day, so you can't just plug in anything you want. So it's different. That thing will end up costing them more money, basically, to have it than basically, at the end of the day, they're better off just selling it. And you can't really get a price gouge for it, because, again, there's so many parts of the system, like, don't need it. Just go over and get me, like, a next gen system. I give you that's right, older gen. I get the 3080, 3060. Don't really make a difference. I don't need all that. I'm playing on an outdated card, which I again forgot to update the card. And the graphics on here look amazing on this old PC that I'm running with an i5 processor sitting inside of it, 16 gigabytes, 2 terabytes on the hard drive, and let's see, my i5 is like something like a 4070 something. It's old. And it runs perfectly on that. One thing I had to do is update the card, which I keep forgetting to do. What I need to do right now to get off this video, because I keep forgetting to do it. But it still runs nice and smooth. It stutters a little bit when it first starts up, but then it smooths itself out, which I need to do again, update the card. So you really don't need a lot of power. But yeah, come Black Friday, they're going to be out. Not just the scalpers out there, going to be people of opportunity are going to be out to rob you to get your systems to sell them. Money's tight, and people want to sell. They're going to want to sell your stuff. They're worth a lot of money. Another problem you don't have to worry about, and I've seen this happen too. I hate to say it, but Amazon workers have done some stuff. I've seen one with a cell phone incident. I literally saw the guy take a picture and put it right back in his pocket and walk off. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Porch pirates, you know they're going to be out on the rampage for those things. And how did all this get triggered off in effect? The scalpers triggered it. Because the scalpers went in and bought up all the systems, making them extremely rare, hard to get, charged a ton of money, and now people see opportunity. If I get one of these systems, I can sell for a lot of money and get paid. Which means now, if you pick one of these up, you got a target on your head. Meanwhile, I'm going to sit back, watch this madness go down, and I'm going to build myself a nice PC, game on it, and have fun with it at the end of the day, and do some work on it, and project the mapping off it, and later on build another one, and another one, and another one, a couple more. Then I want to build this for fun, and I'm not going to go through any of that nonsense. No more shortage on parts or anything like that. Yeah. Sooner or later, you'll wake up, you'll see it. You'll wake up sooner or later. Right now, you need to go elsewhere. You do. Now, for those of you who are hardcore console gamers at the end of the day, and you don't want to give it up, I understand at the end of the day, but you're not going to be able to get one of those systems. The time is really bad. Remember, it's October. We're nowhere near Black Friday. We're nowhere near Christmas, and you can't get the system. And anyone who has them is selling them for a ton of money. Wait until November hits, and we get near Thanksgiving and see the price jump. Wait until Christmas comes and wait to see the price jumps. If I'm a scalper at the end of the day, I'm not going to end it here. Why would I end it here? That'd be stupid. You know how much money I can make in the Black Friday sale? How much money I can make in the Christmas rush? There you go. And then the other nightmare part is how many are bricks? Remember, they're first edition systems. So how many of those systems are actually going to be brick? So what you need to do is you want to stop the nightmare. All gamers, including Xbox, you guys got to all band together. This is your nightmare now. Xbox fanboys, PlayStation fanboys. You ever notice that the Nintendo Switch is not having this issue? Nope. Not having this issue at all, period. Not at all. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're doing it right. They don't have that problem at all. They don't. And they make good games on that system. But they don't have that problem. But y'all need to band together and get a petition going. And y'all need to basically contact these big corporations, and they got to do better to get rid of these scalpers. If not, this is going to continue on. When you see it pop up on the PS6, which I say it's going to happen, when you see it pop on the PS6, that's what I can tell you. But maybe some of y'all already seen it already from the PS5. You're seeing it already. You're seeing the same incident from the PS5, but much worse. Some people take a little longer for it to process. When the PS6 comes out, you won't get one. I'm going to do a video. PS6, you won't get one. Short and sweet. So I'm going to come back to that video when the PS6 launches and watch. I'm going to grab every single one of them. Charge so much money for that system, it's not even going to be funny. Ooh, look at the copper block on this. Tell this copper block is extra sexy.
The copper block system. Look at that. Extra sexy. It's all white. Anyway, the whole system is all white. That's what I got it this way. All white. Oh man, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, new parts. I'm so happy.
I'm telling you right now, I ain't a hard person to please at the end of the day. I am not a hard person to please. I don't need fancy cars, none of that. A liquid cooling system. It ain't got to be expensive one too. I paid, how much did I pay for this one? I paid $37 for this thing. $37 for this one. This one I paid $45 for, $47 was the price. And this one's about $27. No, it's $37, sorry, $37 I got for this. That's it. This baby is sweet. I'm gonna go pick up my rack, start working on my design for it. I cannot wait. Not trying to put your console gamers down in any way whatsoever, so please don't go PC Master Race. I do both of them. I got a PC, I'm not going to get the parts for that too, my PlayStation 4 modification. I might order that stuff now and get it done, because I want to start working on it right away. I'm a huge console gamer, fan. I play a lot of old console games. I have a massive collection of console games. Also, too, I have my PS4 over there, which I'm upgrading with an 8GB, terabyte hard drive space, and then I modify it to look like it's actually levitating. So I do love console. I just don't like the direction that it's going. If they weren't going and having this nightmare with the scalpers at the end of the day, yeah, I would have loved to get a PS Pro, and I would have picked up the PS5 and the PS5 Slim, because I like to get all of them. And I would have got the Xbox, that one too, and I would have. I'm going to get me a Wii U, by the way. Not Wii U. Play Nintendo Switch. I'm buying a Nintendo Switch, and I'm buying a Steam Deck. So I definitely Steam Deck for my PC games. But anyway, yeah, I would have bought one easily, but it makes it virtually impossible for you to get one. And I'm not carrying a firearm to go pick one of these things up, because that's just stupid. That's literally going to have to basically put someone in the earth for a freaking console system, and they're going to lose their life over a console system. I don't even carry rubber rounds at the end of the day, pepper rounds. It's going to hurt somebody still at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. Someone's going to get hurt with that thing. It's not worth it at all, period. They got to fix it. I'll sign your petition. I don't mind. At the end of the day, I think they need to start doing this, because if they're not, this is going to keep going. If they know that they can make this money, they know this is a 100% profit that they're going to make, why are they going to stop? If you know you're going to make money, 100% guaranteed, you're going to make a lot of it, why would you stop? They're not. Greed is taking over. That's what's happening. So you need to get these big companies to stop marketing them online and make it that the consoles can only be picked up at local stores only. I know you got to do it with the shoplifters. It's messed up, everything. You get to put them things behind glass cases, whatever they got to do to lock them down. And that's another thing too about the shoplifter. That's another easy problem to fix. You don't have to have things behind glass cases and all that stuff. You give them serious jail time. You give a shoplifter an average 5 years. Anyone shoplifting 5 years, I don't care what you take, 5 years, I guarantee it stops. No one wants to spend 5 years in a prison system. Nobody. Especially 5 years. I think it's a nice round number. It's perfect. You give them 5 years. You make that a law. Anyone caught shoplifting, if you're caught shoplifting, you automatically get 5 years. How many people do you think are going to start stealing? Nobody's going to start stealing. Very rare people are going to steal. No one wants to do 5 years in prison. The reason why they're doing what they're doing, because there's no real penalty for it. So there you go. That's how you fix that one. Tougher laws. You know, in certain countries, if you take something, they lop off a couple of fingers. They don't steal a lot in those countries. No one wants to lose their fingers. There's some people who do it and they get their fingers taken off. And there's some people who see the other people getting their fingers taken off and they don't do it. And we had laws like that in our country, which I'm glad we don't, but they're very brutal laws. They had them back then in the day. And you would get your fingers cut off if you stole something. What would be the odds of you taking something? There you go. See, you got to put them type of laws in there. I'm not saying the finger lopping. I think that's medieval. But I think the 5-year prison sentence, I think that's perfect. Guarantee you won't get repeat offenders. Nope. I'm gonna spend 5 years for what? Really? 5 years? You don't give me 5 years? 5 years without parole. You can do the full 5 years. Yeah. You don't see people running the stores and ripping people off and doing like, no. 5 years. You know, it used to be a law when I was a kid, but they don't have it anymore, that if you got caught looting, you can get shot on sight. It's a law. Officers can shoot you on sight for looting. Can't do that now. It used to be that way. They're bold now. Walk into a store, grab stuff, walk right back out. I mean, back then you had people who would basically put stuff under their clothes and stuff like that. You had professional shoplifters. They would go and have a long trench coat with a bunch of pockets underneath of it. You ever watch the 1950s? They talk about stores and stuff like that, and they talk about the potential shoplifter, you know, and people think shoplifters are African American. Shoplifters come from all different races, all different kinds. That's the end of the day. Stop that stereotype, dumb nonsense. But they showed a guy come in, and he had a long coat on, and there was two of them. How one of them keeps, this is like an awareness video for people who have stores. One of them keep the sales clerk occupied, like, why he would just rob stuff. He would take things, valuable items that he knew he could sell, and he had this big long coat on. He would just put it up, and that's where all that came from, the shoplifting back in that particular era. But now today, they don't even hide it. They just walk in, grab what they want, and just walk right out the door. Right out the door. Just like that. Just grab something, walk out the door. Because there's no penalty there. Now, you give them a 5-year penalty, I guarantee they'll think twice while they're sitting there contemplating like, no, I don't think I want to do 5 years. But now they're that bold. You can tell the laws are relaxed when you see somebody just walk in and just grab what they want and walk out the door. Cars right there, license plate fully exposed. They just put stuff in the car calmly and just drive away. And us, who pay for this stuff, we got to walk into a Walmart or a Target that looks like something out of the Mad Max Thunderdome. There's freaking everything behind glass. This is caged off. That's caged off. At one point, I thought I was a rat in a maze. I was waiting for a piece of cheese at the other end. I wonder how many different areas I had to go through to find something. And then when you finally find something, you got to ask for the clerk. And you know how that works at the end of the day. You ever buy yourself spray paint at the end of the day? You have to ask for the clerk, and they can't find that person in that department. And they call that person, and they call that person. It's the same thing. Just to buy freaking socks. I gotta basically find them behind glass because people want to steal socks. And deodorant. And toothpaste. And detergent. Because they can get away with it, that's why. Give them roughly 5 years. And start at 5 years where it can jump. If you take something of a certain amount, so many years. You won't have that issue. Oh man, I'm telling you. So that's another problem you run into. They do take the systems, and they're in the stores anyway. They still have behind glass. You can't go break in and take behind glass. And you got people that literally walk in. You've seen the jewelry store. People walking with sledgehammers. Come on, broad daylight. Smash shelves. Take whatever they want. Run out the door. You know what I'm telling you? It's interesting, I tell you, how society is. It really is. You got to look at it. How interesting it is. Look at the drones. I told you about the drones. Here, watch the drones. Watch these machines, these robots they're building at the end of the day. Watch them. There's a purpose for everything. Everything has a purpose for what it's designed to do. You think they're designing those machines just based at the end of the day to do manual labor? No. It's going to be military weapons when they get done with them. Drones are already military weapons. Those machines will be military weapons. They'll do jobs that, again, will put humans at risk. That's what they're going to be designed for. But not only that, they can police the system. You got a machine that doesn't sleep. It can basically run, it can jump, it can do everything that you can do, but it can do it 20 times better. Those machines running around that lab, imagine one of them with a badge on it one day. Like Robocop. Just like that. It'll have amazing accuracy due to the fact that it's AI intelligence. Yeah. But in order to get something like that, you have to be able to show that it's basically needed. You ever watch Robocop? You know, Robocop's really interesting. You ever watch some of this stuff? It's really interesting. It is. People think it's all just a robot running around, OCD, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole theory about that. He needed to be able to fund his program. He couldn't fund the program because they had to prove at the end of the day that it was needed. Bringing in military hardware into a civilian area was extremely dangerous, especially machines at the end of the day. And they had to be able to prove that the area was hostile enough to be able to okay this. So what do? You hire somebody who basically can start the fire. That's what we hired Clarence Boddicker for. That's what his job was, to go in and cause chaos, destruction, whatever you can do. You got the keys to the city, run wild, go rampant. Bring the crime rate through the roof. And then I can get the okay to bring in my hardware that lock this down. Once I bring this hardware to lock everything down and I can police the city, then they'll love what I'm doing. And then they'll give me the contracts I need to rebuild the city. And I'll have all the contracts. And once all the contracts are in, you can run all this at the end of the day. No one will touch you. You can make money off all these new businesses. But who's know? He might have stabbed him in the back. He might have been waiting to kill him anyway, stab him in the back. But you know what? We'll have him go in and do the work for us, make him think he's going to run all this, and we'll lock him up. We'll get rid of him. Because he knows too much. Can't have him walking around. So you didn't know which way that was going to go in Robocop. But either way, if you look at that, it's pretty interesting. So now, if you look at it, why aren't they doing anything about these shoplifters? They're letting shoplifters go rampant. I mean, they can take whatever they want out of the store. That's crazy. I mean, they want everybody, store owners, to lock everything up, but they don't want to do anything about passing tougher laws to make sure that cut that out. To make sure that these individuals stay behind bars when they commit these crimes. If I know that I'm going to get a misdemeanor, maybe like $100 fine, if I go steal $5,000 worth of Gucci bags, I'm only going to pay $100. And chances are they're probably never going to find the bags either way. I'm probably going to stash them somewhere. I can go back and sell those off and make the money, go get some more. I'm only going to pay $100 fine, so what I care? If you're going to tell me I'm going to do 10 years for touching a bag, I'm not touching that. That's 10 years of my life. I'm not getting that. There you go. They got to put them heavier, I like this game. They got to put those heavier charges in there. So why are they not doing this? And this is rampage. This is not in one area. And mind you, if you get to a point where you know you can rob a store, what's next? They break into your car. Now they're breaking in cars and they're taking stuff out of people's cars in broad daylight, smashing someone's car. They do it in California. They do it in Florida. They do it in all different states. They smash your windows open. Take wherever they want out. You got the homeless encampments. We didn't used to have homeless encampments like that. They had programs to put the homeless in to help them out. But they're not even helping them anymore. They're shutting down programs that could help them out, that could potentially help these people out. They're shutting them down, giving them no choices. What are they going to do now? They have no place to go. They got to build massive encampments. And these are massive encampments end up on the front. It's in Kensington at one point. Kensington could have been cleaned up a long time ago. A long time ago. It should have never looked that bad. I've been in Philadelphia for a long time. I've never seen Kensington like that. They allow that stuff to happen that way. The reason why stuff happens that way so things can get pushed through a little faster. Well, look at this condition that it's in. The only way we can help it is we have to go to these measures right here. So like I said, let the shoplifting commence. You know what's going to happen? Sooner or later, you're going to see one of those machines that you see on YouTube, mark my words, or, even worse, a drone sitting on the corner with a 911 stamped on the side of it. And then what? You got a machine that can sit there and can scan every head walking across the street. Bring it back to itself and basically go through a system through face recognition software that you have on your cell phone and go in and be able to figure out who you are, where you live at, everything, the whole 9 yards. We can go. Invasion of privacy is way beyond that now. Can monitor access to your phones, all that. Mind you, you taught AI. You basically, the artificial intelligence that's linked to your cell phone and everything you have now, because everybody welcome AI, they brought it in, yay, AI, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. And you basically brought in a software operating system that they'll probably use to load on machines to teach them. Everything about your habits, everything about you. I don't touch AI with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, like I said, sooner or later. So, crime keeps pushing up to the roof, things get crazier. We need to bring in something a lot more to tame this at the end of the day. And bring in a machine sooner or later. Ain't too far-fetched. You know, people sit there and say, but that's far-fetched. Look, back in the 19, my mother was a young little girl. They said that they were going to have a machine that you can stick food in and it would heat it up super, super fast. Microwave. So, yeah. The change is going to come pretty soon. You're going to see it. Those robot dogs, yeah, they're going to replace the canine units. Outrun one of those at the end of the day and see what happens. Can't outrun that machine. At all, period. All that stuff you're seeing is going to be designed for something else. So you think they're spending all that money to give you a robot dog at the end of the day? So you can, hey, Sparky, how you doing? That's what they're giving you for? Machines to clean your house, all that stuff at the end of the day, that's what you think they're going to use it for? That's the only thing they're going to use it for? That's like, if you're going to be that naive, that's like saying, hey, nuclear energy was only designed basically to power cities as another source of energy. They turned it into a bomb that can wipe out an entire city. You know how big a city is? It can literally wipe an entire city out. Not only wipe an entire city out, the aftermath of what that thing can cause is unbelievable. But it was never mentioned for that. It was just designed as another source of energy. Every form of technology always has an upside or a bad side to it. Just about. So, with that being said, yeah, nuclear energy was never developed to be a bomb. It was developed to be as another source of energy. And then they turned it into a weapon. Those machines you see that slowly they have to basically introduce this to. You can't just wake up one day and have a machine Robocop sitting on the corner. That'll freak you out in the day. They have to ease it into the system. Like the drones. The drones, they make a bunch of little toys. You see them, they're fun. You see people running through the house with drones flying all over the place. It's fun, you know what I mean? You get one, it's fun, you know what I mean? You're used to it. And then later on, they bring these high-tech drones out, the ones you can basically, you know, they'll track you, and they'll be able, when you run, they run with you and everything, and everywhere you go, they follow you and everything. They carry cameras and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool, ain't it? And they can fly here, they can fly there, go anywhere they want, and then all of a sudden, they bring a law in that says, you can't have this drone in this particular area, and they have to be registered, and we have to know who belongs to who this item belongs to. Who does this machine belong to? Now they police them. You can't go fly a drone when you want to fly it anymore. Because they police them. You can't be here, you can't be here, you can't be here, you can't be. You can't even have them in parks now. And next you know, you'll see a police drone where it has the freedom to go anywhere it wants to go. And soon, you'll see them armed. First, they'll be monitoring and watching and observing, and next you know, they'll be basically the next stage is to arm them. And then next, what caliber of weapon will they start carrying? They'll customize weapons for drones. Drones can carry flamethrowers. They use them to basically kill nests and stuff like that. That basically, utility wires may have something up there. Basically, they may be blocking. It could potentially cause damage, and they bring a drone up there to clean that stuff out. Drones are used for a number of things for utility work. They're even used for guarding properties. You can arm a drone now with a gun. Now, since it has a built-in locking system, I doubt it's going to miss. Which is funny, because that's what Robocop had. A built-in locking system, too. So those machines, you think at the end of the day are going to be used for construction work. And that's the only thing they're going to be used for. Just construction work, that's all. None of them's going to be carrying a high-powered weapon in the day. That's a perfect soldier right there. Doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, can't torture it in any way whatsoever. It's a machine at the end of the day. It's not afraid of death, has no fear whatsoever. It's faster, it's stronger, it's quicker. It can learn massive amounts of intelligence just like that. It can learn every weapon in that arsenal with no problem and master every single one of them. On top of that, they cut down on human casualties. The everyday soldier doesn't have to go out to war. He doesn't have to basically come home hurt or damaged. He doesn't have to have any problems at the end of the day. He can live a normal life, and basically, at the end of the day, that machine will do the work for it. That's literally what they're going to push at the end of the day. We will save hundreds and thousands of lives when we do this. And they're going to arm that machine. And they're going to program it to do exactly what it's designed to do. But sooner or later, the mistake they're going to make is when they start manufacturing machines, they're going to allow machines to manufacture themselves. I think that we're not going to have a judgment day. That's not going to happen that way. But I think we're going to tilt on the end of seeing the possibilities of what can happen and what we're capable of doing. And I think they're going to put laws in place to basically govern this to make sure it doesn't happen, like the atom bomb. When they dropped that bomb, they didn't realize the destruction that man was able to create, the horrors that we can design. And that's why they passed all those laws to make sure, Geneva Convention, all that, to make sure that these weapons can't be used. Even though you have them, they can't be used. Because they never knew the destruction of what that bomb could do. And when they dropped it on Japan, they were set back. Like, we can't use these. We can't use it. Can you imagine military saying, well, we can't use that. That's way too powerful. We can't use it. There you go. So I think we are. I think we are going to get to a point where we're going to have machines. Machines are just about anywhere. But I think it's going to get to a point where it's going to be, I think we are going to hit that area where it's going to become a danger not to do it. We're going to come close to it. It's a whole video game, man. Get back here. We're doing a tutorial in a video game. But anyway, I think we're going to come close to it. We are. Look at the drones. Drones are man-operated. They are. Someone operates a drone. They do. But, you know, with that AI intelligence, I'm pretty sure they're experimenting on how to have them fly themselves. Probably got it already. We just don't know about it. A lot of things military works on, we don't know about it. That's why people sit there and say, oh, there's flying saucers. There's no flying saucers on this. We don't have any other aliens. It's just us. It says God made man in the image of himself. When Jesus came down, he didn't have tentacles and freaking 1,000 eyes and all that. He was a man just like us in the day. But I think what people are seeing is they're seeing military test wear. That's what you're seeing. And if you were back in the 1950s and you saw a stealth bomber, what would you say it was? You would say it was an alien ship. Just because you see everything in the books and everything, you think that you know everything, you think that I've seen everything, there's stuff that the military is working on. You have no idea what they're working on. Probably some pretty interesting stuff that you don't even know anything about. So chances are, what you're probably seeing out there flying around, looping around, back and forth, is probably aircraft, something they're testing out. Alright, I'm done. I gotta get my talk time in. I wanted to basically get it down to 9 o'clock so I can basically go out and get this part that I need. Go pick up this rack so I can start working on my stuff. Watching that. Hey, they're playing a whole freaking video game on here. I gotta get one of these games. I gotta try. I never do these games. Never. I gotta really try one of these games and see if it's like always pass up the damn shit. I gotta get into one of these games. They seem pretty fun. Got a great storyline to it. I'm not sure if I can do it. Everybody else is dying. store line, which we're starting on that too. I'm definitely figuring my back today. Definitely do that today. Yes, it's definitely a little different right here, but it's a bit connected. We're going to get one connected today. We'll see. If I get the original phone, I might be able to make it easy today. The only thing we're taking out of the system is basically the i5 processor. That's it. Probably very attached to that. We're doing an open case mod anyway. We're going to attach the motherboard. We're doing motherboard to one motherboard. We basically got to set the whole thing up and then basically attach it later. What I can do. Because it's going to be an open rack PC anyway. I can build it today. I mean, right now I got to put an order in for 16 gigabytes of RAM because right now the 2 DIMM slots and Dell's have 4. So it's 4 for each one. That's about 16 for that one right there. So we're going to put in 8. 8 is sufficient enough to run what we need, but we're still going to jump to 16 because we got to put 2 8-50 for that one. But that's just the time because I do want to get this thing built. I do want to get this thing under the desk. I do want to get it up here and start working on it. So definitely do that. And we definitely work around the PC. That's no problem though. Work around the PC. I've done that. Okay. I want to get that black in here. I want to get a white one. We're not getting the black. It's going to be on all white. I need to be white. Put in there, take apart, see what I want, how we'll go out and attach this thing in. So this should be pretty easy to do. And I can put my different power supplies. At the bottom, I'm going to put my 2 power supplies in. Let's see, how to get cables for it, how to get hard power supplies, extenders, and all that stuff like that. I'll get a wire that way. Thank you so much for your orders. I got orders that came in today. I really appreciate it so much for supporting the company.
Well, that's it. We got a goal, and our goal is basically to develop better technology for our customers.
We got 4 of these coming out this week. We got 4 of these black colored screens. What's the name I have that? Black colored technology. I think the most important.
Yeah, look at him. Is he sitting there on the camera? I told you at the end of the day, he has to be on camera. He has to be. Look at him. Look in a different direction. Look at you. What are you doing, Mr. Bear? Are you sitting in front of the camera? You're not camera shy, are you? No, you're not. You're not camera shy. I told you.
Yes, he's right in the shop. So he's going to start wearing his tie from now on. So you can look presentable in the office. Your tie. I told you, he's in his name. This is right there. It has to be recorded. You'll be in all the videos now. You're in all the videos now. You ask about Taco. Everybody go and ask about Taco. Taco. You got right, Taco? Everywhere we go. Got you in the bag. He covers up in the bag now. Once in a while, he's going to come out and sling at people. So I'm taking them over to City Hall so they can see Taco. Everybody comes on this. People got friends over at City Hall. Everybody, you got friends over there? Yes, we do. They love you. My other side of the family, they love him. He has his, sorry, I don't have to say this, he has his colors. That's the other side of the family. Yeah. Ain't that right? All right, buddy, come on, go get from there. Gotta be at the door, and I told you from the door, man. It's very dark corner. Well, now I got a cat. You see when I go out every time he's in his bag. Gotta be out today. Out today, you see him today. This is some of his little advice. Not a cat person, but he's a dog person. The dog that he likes. That's that right. Like, dog, there you go. We went to the dog that was trying to tell him, fuck. Definitely don't eat too much of the time. Alright, Taco.
They want us to bless them yesterday. They blessed us with orders that came in, with the account. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support of that company. Really appreciate it. Oh, look at you, distinguished gentlemen. Can't wait to take you to the opera. You like the opera? Check that out. Man, wait till the ad check goes up. We start putting our screens and notice all over this place, man. We're gonna be walking in and out of this shop. That technology, all technology right there. Yep, ain't it? I got the Black Series Edition shirts coming in, hoodies, all that stuff. That's for, keep in mind, it's not merch, it's for me to wear. I gotta wear it when I go in and out of places. Gotta have my company logo and everything on it, all my advertising on it. Everything on the street. We got the ad check over here on the sample. I gotta get a bigger version of the ad check. I think I need, I need it on the surface that it really comes on. That would help right there, because that's the surface for something. So I mean, we're going to do it this one. We're going to have it up in the glass on display. And call it the first position. Set that meeting up together. We're going to set that meeting up here. All right, people. Had a little chat talk there. You know what I mean? Hope you enjoyed. I got to skip to you all day. I got things coming in today for projects we're working on. And I got we got the giant screen we got to build on this side. And I got to finish the modifications for the PlayStation. And I'll bring the rack in. When I forget the rack in, I'll show you what we do for that one. So we'll start working on that. That'll be the next stage. So we got to finish our sculpture design over here. We got to get building on this one. Yeah, we got a lot to do. Alright, well, good thing about it is, you know what I mean? We got God helping us get everything done. Yes, I think we definitely crooked. We don't have to do much longer. We'll take it down and put something up instead. We're gonna get our box system, the light systems on the inside. I just told you, didn't I? Why is it when I wear dark, you gotta always cover me in fur like no one knows and you have a couch. Alright, hope you enjoyed. I gotta go be time. Like I said, think about it. Try it. Go out and get yourself a cheap PC. They're not expensive. Get a cheap one. Experiment with it. Get a chance to know it, understand it, and you'd be surprised how fast it is to learn it. At the end of the day, you'll be building your own console systems, or actually, no, I'm sorry, PC systems in no time at all. All right, gotta go. Thank you all, and God bless. Why do you keep doing that?